If you guys can help me with this would be great. Oh, divine, infinite one, I lean into you. Oh, divine, infinite one, I lean into you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Rama 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 Sitaram Rama Sitaram Rama Sitaram Rama Sitaram. Oh, divine, infinite one, I lean into you. Oh, divine, infinite one, I lean into you. Rama 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 Sitaram Rama Sitaram Rama Sitaram Rama Sitaram. Oh, divine, infinite one, I lean into you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. I'm Russ Laguerre, your assistant minister, and I'm really glad to be here with you today. And can we give some love to our fabulous band? Thank you, Brett and Atreyu and Nick, and welcome to all of our online viewers as well. We're so delighted to have you wherever you're watching us from in the world. Acceptance is a spiritual practice. Many of us chase acceptance our whole lives. I certainly have. And to accept another is to say, I see the good in you. No matter what you look like, what you've done, you are worthy of love. To be accepted is to feel a sense of belonging that comes from being truly seen and heard. And this is why I love our center. Nowhere else have I felt more seen and heard and had more opportunities to see the good in everyone around me. This is important to recognize because I don't think that we're going to be able to create a world that works for everyone until we can experience the gift of acceptance firsthand. We work towards cultivating this acceptance by following our vision and our mission. And would you please join me in speaking that aloud? The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. You can find our global vision on the front page of our website, CSLSR.org, by clicking on the link, We Are One. And part of our vision reads, we envision a world where we are called to conscious action, conscious social action, where people have enough food, homes, and a sense of belonging, where there is peace, harmony, and justice for all. We teach 5 foundational spiritual practices at our center to help us to work towards this vision. Would you please read those out loud with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. Our center uses flowers to send messages of love and appreciation to one another. And today we have 2 flower dedications. The first is from practitioner Rosa Rodriguez, who says, "You and I have been a family for 40 years now. Thank you for the outpouring of your divine love when, the good Lord knows, I needed it the most. I am alive in 2025 because of your prayers, thoughts, and support for my wellness. I am gratefully in love with you." Thank you, Rosie. We love you too. Our second flower dedication is from the Seniors in Spirit group, and it's for Norma Miller. They say, "Norma was the heart and soul of the Seniors in Spirit group for over 25 years. She arranged our meeting space, organized social events, and was a gracious hostess for events at her home. She never forgot a birthday and created a welcoming space for all seniors with a ready smile and heartfelt hugs. She loved those hugs as we did hers. She will be greatly missed by us all." Thank you, Seniors in Spirit. I wanted to take this moment quickly to acknowledge Marie, who does these fabulous flower arrangements for us. She's sitting right here in the front row. She's sort of our unsung flower hero. Often has to bring these flowers to us at a moment's notice because we might get a flower dedication right before it's going to happen. So thank you, Marie, for bringing these to us. They're beautiful. Speaking of flowers, we'd now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, would you please stand and raise your hand as you're able? We would love to bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of our gratitude for you being with us today. Thank you for joining us. I know that somewhere within the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and Dr. Edwards' message today is exactly what you need to experience for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. Please know you are very welcome here. I invite you to sit back and enjoy some music before our short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my life, and I will wait upon the Lord, wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place, I will make a quiet place.
In this very room, there is quite enough love for all the world. In every room, everywhere, indoors, outdoors, there is the one. That one presence I know by many named, by God, by the divine. It is here now. It is that circle of life that flows through every single thing it has created, and so beautifully, individually, through each and every person, through every animal, through every plant, through every flower. All is a beautiful, bright idea of that one that is so creative, so intelligent, that there are no duplicates anywhere. Spirit divine right here, and I feel the light of its love, the light of its presence, the light of its compassion, the light of its friendship and companionship. Oh, all these gifts that keep on giving, for the divine is always present, uniquely expressing through each and every one of us, understanding the ebbs and flows of life and seeing us through. And here this morning, I know that its presence is a felt thing. And it is through the music, it is through the spoken word, it is through each and every one of us that are here. So this coming together is not by accident, it is divine appointment. And I am so grateful for the opportunity to see and feel and hear and to know each one that is here this morning in this oneness. And with this sense of knowing how very blessed this service is, and each one here, I give thanks. And with this feeling of gratitude, I simply release this word, and we can say together, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. My name is Sherry Poole, one of the prayer practitioners here at the center, and invite you to join with me in reading this morning's affirmation. Grounded in the self within, I connect compassionately with the world around me. So it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get
Thank you, Atreo, Nick, and Brett, for that very much. What you might not know is that our music director, Christopher, had to attend to some unexpected business. He's fine, but he asked the band to step in at the last minute yesterday, and they just pulled that together. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for that, and good morning to you. Do you know who Franklin Thomas was? Yeah, I didn't either. And I found out who he was by visiting our website, not our website, our social media, Facebook and Instagram, where we are featuring quotes from prominent African American thinkers because it's Black History Month. That's where I found Franklin Thomas. And then when I read the quote of his words, I was so inspired, and I wanted to lean in and learn more about this man. But something interrupted me. And I want to talk about that because that experience of being distracted and interrupted is relevant to our times right now. It's been a learning experience for me. Now, let me assure you, I'm going to tell you exactly who Franklin Thomas was in a bit, and I'll also share the quote with you in just a bit. And I want to first ask you to imagine that there I am, I'm about to Google him, and I get distracted by something on my phone, an alert, an announcement about some piece of sensational news that catches my eye, and it's filled with chaos and urgency. And it grabs my attention and takes it away from what I was about to do. That may have happened to you recently, you know. Has your attention been commandeered lately by urgent and chaotic news? So much so that it takes you away from very important things. You know, I was listening to one of the younger ministers in our movement, and she was talking about this kind of what she called, I think, intentional or engineered distraction. She grew up in centers for spiritual living. I remember when she was a teen. Her name is Savannah Noel. And she went through all of our classes and then graduated to become a spiritual coach. We call her a practitioner. And then she did the classes and became a minister. Recently, she shared that when she was living in Egypt after the Arab Spring, when the leader there was ousted at the time, one of the things she noted from being in that country during a time of turmoil, which is something she observed was the same when she was living in Ukraine during a time of unrest too. What she noticed was the intentional use of crisis to overwhelm and distract the population. And she noted how ordinary, regular people like you and me began to feel overwhelmed and helpless through the intentional use of shock and chaos. And as a result, they started to feel like they couldn't cope and they couldn't do anything about what they were seeing. And Reverend Savannah suggests that this is an intentional strategy that's been used over time, meant to distract people from leaning into and engaging with meaningful issues. She pointed out how even in her circle of spiritual friends, sometimes people tend to say in a well-intentioned way that they are focusing on the vision of the world they wish to create rather than on the difficult social, economic, political issues. They make a separation about it. And reflected that while this tendency to avoid the news is thought by some people to be a spiritual response, that we might keep in mind that it is a less effective, a less powerful response to the world right at the time when the world could benefit from you, from me, especially if we are practicing metaphysicians who understand the creative power that is in the individual. So now, when I feel this urge to withdraw or this feeling of overwhelm, I tend to remind myself of a few things. Number one, stay emotionally aware of what's going on in you. If something in the news feels like it's designed to trigger despair, it probably is. So take a breath and ask yourself, who benefits from my being afraid? And don't give it to them. Number two, then take a step back. And for us, that means do your spiritual practice, whatever that is for you. Do whatever you need to do from the ones we listed with Reverend Russ, the prayer, meditation, selfless, whatever it is, to keep your mind sharp, to tune into that center within that we call spirit within, to tune into the seat of courage within you on a daily basis. Keep that front and center. And then three, stay connected with like-minded people, spiritual community, so that you can reinforce and strengthen this sense that you are not alone. Because connecting fuels courage. And number four, then, educate yourself and learn about things that matter, like Black History Month. And let that learning keep you informed and clear-headed. It's so important, especially for me, I think, for us maybe, to know how to regulate ourselves in times like this. Because with so much urgency and so much chaos around us, our brains sometimes can't keep up with it, can't keep up with what is going on. And some are saying that might be the point. That might be the strategy. So don't fall for it. See, you and I, we are practicing metaphysicians. And that means we have tools that we can use to regulate our mental and emotional systems. We know how to effectively tune back into the source of clarity. We know. And it is our conviction that our alert, calm minds are more effective and more creative than when they are anxious and distracted. So in other words, I take that to mean, if external factors are seemingly trying to get me to tune out, do the opposite. Tune in. First, to the seat of calm, connected courage within. Tune in there. And then tune into the issue from that calm, alert mind. Lean into it. And secondly, to keep on, we saw right there, spiritual study, educate yourself about your values and your vision. Lean into it so that you can talk as boldly about it as others talk about theirs. Our teaching, the science of mind, reinforces that our response to an increasingly complex world is to stay present and engaged by using our beautiful minds to investigate and to discern what is true and what is false to the best of our ability, and not only with the world around us, but also with the world within us. So back to that moment where I'm sitting at the computer about to Google Franklin Thomas, and I get distracted by the urgency of the world. And I caught myself in that moment, and I took a breath. And I noticed what was happening. And I brought myself back to a very important task that I'm interested in, learning about Franklin Thomas and the way our nation benefited from his contributions. Because knowledge is power, and education leads to illumination. And I reminded myself that learning about Black history is important because it builds a more accurate, inclusive, and just society. Because it helps us recognize historical patterns of injustice. Because it helps us appreciate diverse contributions. And it helps us work toward a more equitable future. I reminded myself of that, and why that was more important than that. Now, the resistance to learning about Black history that I sometimes encounter highlights the very reason why I think it must continue to be studied, at least for me, so that society can grow beyond its past limitations and, well, build a more honest and unified future. And I'm not going to let myself be distracted from that. Now, what I learned about Franklin Thomas inspired me with hope and courage and possibility thinking. And here is some of what I learned. Now, it's a lot, so bear with me. He was an American philanthropist who was president and CEO of the Ford Foundation until 1996. He was the first African American to hold the position of Deputy Police Commissioner in charge of legal matters for the New York City Police Department. What a title. He's also credited with creating thousands and thousands of jobs for all kinds of Americans. He headed up a study of U.S. policy towards South Africa, took a very strong anti-apartheid stance, and was instrumental in recommending a peaceful transition of power. He became the first African American to head up the major foundation, the Ford Foundation, and there he established the nation's largest community development support organization, called the Local Initiatives Support Corporation, and through it he revitalized neighborhoods, he created housing, he created jobs, he recreated local businesses. He also worked diligently to improve women's lives, and one of the ways he did that was taking a stand for non-sexist textbooks in schools. He formed farm organizations in rural areas. He also very intentionally increased the number of women professionals at the Ford Foundation. And in 2001, he was appointed chairman of the 9/11 Fund to support families and communities that had been impacted by the attack, and he was responsible for the management of hundreds of billions of dollars. He was elected to the American Philosophical Society in 2006, and he was the second African American elected to the Board of Trustees of Columbia University. I should know who he is, shouldn't we? Now to the quote on our website, on our social media, and it's widely attributed to him. And whenever I see a quote, I go and look to see if it's real. Right? I couldn't find a source, but it is widely attributed to him, and I can see why. And it also sets up our theme for this month, interconnectedness. Here's the quote. One day, our descendants will think it incredible that we paid so much attention to things like the amount of melanin in our skin, or the shape of our eyes, or our gender, instead of the unique identities of each of us as complex human beings. I must read that again. One day our descendants will think it incredible that we paid so much attention to things like the amount of melanin in our skin or the shape of our eyes or our gender instead of the unique identities of each of us as complex human beings. Well, how do we learn to appreciate each other's unique identities? Well, spiritual practice will help. And one spiritual practice that can help us to appreciate each other's complex individual beings is to unclutter the mind. Because an uncluttered mind is like an open window, and it allows fresh perspectives to come in, and deeper connections to form, and greater appreciation to emerge, so that the richness of human diversity can present itself to us when we reduce internal mental noise. When we do that, we make space for understanding and for respecting each other's unique identities. Now, one effective way for uncluttering the mind is oddly, counterintuitively, to give it something to think about. I've been teaching a class, and many of you are attending, focused on Dr. Ernest Holmes, and I shared that at the back of his book, The Science of Mind and Spirit, is a section called Meditations for Self-Help. And he was of the opinion that when you meditated on something like this, it generated an energy field that could be detected and felt. And he had an attendant who was responsible for driving him to and from appointments. His name was Dr. George Bindal. And he played a game with Dr. George Bindal. He would be at home, and he would be sitting somewhere contemplating, meditating, and then he would tell Dr. George, when you come home, I want you to find out where I was in the house by detecting the energy of the meditation. I always loved that story. Here's how he introduces the use of it. First, decide which meditation you wish to use, and then become quiet and composed. Then carefully read the meditation several times, phrase by phrase, endeavoring to realize the meaning of the words and trying to enter into the atmosphere of the thought. After having done this, meditate upon the words, following that meditation until you feel a sense of realization. So it's important to say that when he wrote this, the word meditate meant something different from what we mean today. It means contemplate, think about it. And so I want to use that process today for us to still the mind, unclutter it, and to focus on something to help us open the space. And I'll follow that up with a spiritual mind treatment, our form of affirmative prayer, to bring our time to a close. So I invite you to breathe in with me. And exhale, letting your eyes close as if that feels comfortable for you to do so. And I'll read this twice with space in between so that you can just watch your own mental process, your own thoughts. No one can misdirect me. Nothing can mislead me. I am free from the belief in all lies and any untruths. I know and speak only the truth, and the truth alone can be spoken to me. I understand what is real. I cannot be fooled or misled. I am guided from within by the Spirit of life and truth alone. No one can misdirect me. Nothing can mislead me. I am free from the belief in all lies and any untruths. I know and speak only the truth. I cannot be fooled nor misled. I am guided from within by the Spirit of life itself, the seat and the source of all that is true. There is only one source of all that is. It is the source of everything, the center of creative intelligence. It is ever present across time and space. And it is the foundation of every experience and possibility. I am intimately connected with this infinite presence, as is each person here. I daily consciously tune into it to remember that I am one with it, so that I may consciously embody its qualities of spaciousness and acceptance and creativity, so that I may be consciously guided from within by these attributes to follow the path of loving kindness, inclusion, and truth. And so through this spiritual mind treatment, I now perceive the living reality of interconnectedness, where everything and everyone unfolds as an expression of unity and creative potential. And it all does so in a way that affirms and confirms that life is an ever-evolving dance of endless possibilities that I am glad for. I'm glad in my heart, I'm glad in my soul, and I feel the deep warmth of this gratitude for this realization that I'm having through this prayer. And so I release this word of prayer into that aspect of the divine that we call the law, as a way of confirming that it all takes place effortlessly. And for that reason, I bring the prayer to a close by saying with you, and so it is. I invite you to let the next breath you take be deeper than the one before. And to sigh, letting that sigh and that movement of air signal my whole body and mind and emotions that I'm transitioning to another part of our time together in which we practice, what did we call it? The spiritual law of circulation, which describes the giving and the receiving and the appreciating that is part of our spiritual practice. So I invite you to call to mind right now something about the Center for Spiritual Living that has blessed your life. And I invite you also to call to mind a way in which you bless the center, because we're in this together. Sometimes people forget the obvious one, your presence, how that's a blessing to the center. And in that atmosphere of appreciation, mutuality, we support our center with our gifts of finances to support it so that it may continue to be here strong for future generations. I invite the ushers to stand while you prepare your gift. And won't you place your hand on your chest as a symbol of your heart connection to your center and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world, and so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Sing it with me. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Brett. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends.
Thank you so much for all of the gifts that you share to help support our community. Lucille Ball once said, "Love yourself first, and everything else falls in line." Experiencing self-love can be challenging, and often I've had parts of me that don't want to accept that I am worthy of love. But loving ourselves does not need to be hard. And practitioner Krista McAtee is sharing a workshop called Radical Self-Love on Sunday, February 18th, where you will have an opportunity to learn how to fall madly in love with yourself in a way where you will know your own self-worth. I'm looking forward to that. I've noticed something about myself. I can be a bit of a pack rat with guitars and gadgets. I've got too many. They tend to check in and not check out. I've noticed too about myself that sometimes I can pack away feelings of resentment, feelings of anger at myself and at other people. And those feelings, they can clutter up my mind and they make it really hard for me to feel free to be myself. So I'm really glad that Dr. Edward has a method to clean out my mental attic. He's teaching a 4-week class that is very appropriately named. It's called Forgiveness, where we will all have an opportunity to learn what forgiveness is, what it is not, and how we can let go of those sticky feelings to find the freedom that we really do deserve. Now, before the pandemic, our center hosted numerous events where we all would come together, eat delicious food, and fall in love with each other all over again. And that's why I'm so glad that nurturing our community is back after a long hiatus. Yes. Now we are gathering hosts for our events. And if you would like to host an event while helping to raise money for our center, out in the social hall, we have our Nurturing Our Community team, and they're wearing white aprons. Also, perhaps you want to host, but maybe you aren't a gourmet chef. Well, no problem. Check in with the NOC team because they might just have a co-host who happens to be a gourmet chef. And together you can cook something incredible at your home so that you can have an incredible event. Here's another quote for you. That's the thing about books. They let you travel without moving your feet. Jhumpa Lahiri once shared that wisdom. And this February, you have the opportunity to travel without ever buying a plane ticket with Sharing Our Books, a free event where you can donate your used books and take a trip through the literary landscape of your choice by taking some free books home with you. And I've been back where we're storing all the books. We already have a lot, and I may have taken a few myself already. We're going to be continuing to collect books, though, until Wednesday, February 19. So if you have books that you would like to share with our community, you can bring them here on any Sunday before then, as well as on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. And if you do, you're going to help us to share all of those tickets that will take us to the land of imagination. Finally, the arts are a staple of our center, and music especially. And we've showcased many musicians over the years. We actually had a Treyu and Sophia last year concert. It was quite a lot of fun. And I'm delighted to share that we are bringing Astra Fox onto our stage on Friday, February 21, to play her new CD she just recorded called My Own Medicine. So come and share your love with Astra by buying a ticket today. Be sure to get them early because they will cost a little bit more at the door. And speaking of Astra, this is also the week when her Joyful Frequency Sound Circle begins here at the center. So if you'd like an opportunity to sing in a supportive and loving community with Astra leading you, that begins on Thursday. And that is at 5:30 p.m. You don't need to sign up. All you need to do is bring yourself and bring your desire to sing. No experience necessary. All the information and registration details for these events are available on our website, CSLSR.org. And that's all I have for today. I invite you now to hear a special invitation from our friend Karen Drucker.
All we need is love. All we need is love. All we need is love. Don't you agree with me that in these wacky times that we're in right now, what we need is lots of love? So Karen Drucker here, inviting you all my favorite people from CSL Santa Rosa, to join me on Wednesday, February 12th, which is Valentine's Day, for a sacred evening of love. And that means we're going to have sacred readings. We're going to be chanting and singing about all different aspects of love. And, make this a date night with yourself. I mean, if you have someone that you want to bring, that's good. But it's a date night with yourself because it's just going to be a big old love fest. And I just think we need it right now. Don't you? Don't you? So I am your love queen, and I am here with my little X's and O's to invite you to be with me on Valentine's Day to sing that all we need is love. 'Cause all we need is love. So I hope I see you then. February 12th, 7 o'clock.
Well, so it's Wednesday before Valentine's Day. You got that. It's the 12th, not the 14th. And also, as I was listening to the announcements about nurturing our community, you don't have to be a gourmet chef, right? You can be any kind of chef. You can do whatever you like. And just go and visit with them. And it's also, you don't have to raise funds. The funds get raised by the people who bid to attend your event. So there's no burden on you to raise the funds. It's a lot of fundraising, so I'll go and talk about that. Now it's time for us to close our service, and if you would like to get some prayer from one of our in-service prayer practitioners or online, Online, you can go to our website and you'll see there the instructions for how to get individual private prayer on Zoom in the room. You just go to the back. The host over there will connect you with a prayer practitioner. I usually say, if there's something incomplete in you or if you cried yourself to sleep last night. But someone pointed out to me that's not the only reason why you go to get prayer. You can go to get prayer for just about anything. In fact, we don't even like to say, I'm getting prayer for something. It's more like, I'm getting prayer about something. About solid, harmonious relationships in your family. About being productive in clearing your garage. You can pick a topic. The idea is to go and get spiritual support at any time. You don't need to wait for a crisis or incompleteness or challenge. It can be just for an ordinary thing in life to bring a much needed brightness of spiritual light and understanding. So if you're online, try it. Go to those rooms. There are practitioners waiting right now. They're setting up to receive you, to pray with you. And in the room, likewise, before you go home today into the rain, take a warm moment of dryness and be here with a prayer practitioner to support you on whatever your spiritual journey is. And now won't you please stand as you are able, saying, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, sustained, and uplifted by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Let's close in song.
So let there be peace. I am a stamp for peace. Let there be love. I am a stamp for love. Let there be joy. I am a stamp for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stamp for peace. Let there be love. I am a stamp for love. Let there be joy. I am a stamp for joy. We are making a new world now. So let there be peace. I am a stamp for peace. Let there be love. I am a stamp for love, let there be joy. I am a stamp for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new